I grew up in Sherman Oaks, California. I grew up with two brothers. This is catching up anybody who wasn't here. Two brothers. Travis, my older brother, 19 months or less older than I am. Chris, 2 years younger. Chris, tough guy, younger than me. He was Mr. Military all the time. Travis, my older brother, had 9 lives. To this day, I tell his kids, guys, watch your dad because I think he's on the last one. I've watched him test out at about 8 or 7, and I think there's one more that I missed out on. Rolling of the big heavy equipment down the mountain. Nobody lives from that. Travis walked away. So that's my Travis and my Chris, and there we were in the backyard. Kids that were here earlier, what were we professionals at? We were professionals at making lemonade, but you know that one dude, he stole our recipe. You know all about that. We were professionals, I heard it over here, at being thoroughly and utterly bored. And we were really good at being bored when my mom went off to the store. My mom was on one of those shopping trips, and I doubt she would have gone shopping that day had she realized the danger that lurked in our backyard. It was fully fenced, but we were there. Actually, Travis was there with the big ideas. As we sat around, bored, Travis said, guys, I think it's time to climb a tree. Chris said, we've done that 1,000,000 times. Well, let's climb something maybe we haven't climbed yet. Let's climb something again. Let's climb it in a new way. What about the apricot tree? Climbed it. What about the lemon tree? Not very fun. What about the evergreen tree? Don't you remember how pokey it was? Oh yeah, that wasn't very fun. Hey guys, we may have climbed all the trees in the yard, you say, but we haven't climbed that one. Ooh, he was right. We had never climbed the birch tree. We had never known how to climb the birch tree before. You see, the birch tree was about, oh yay, big around, and all of the branches were very high up out of our reach. And until television the week before, a very educational program, where some guy on an island somewhere in the South Pacific had shown us how to climb coconut trees. And in our sudden creative, bored, but enlightened brains, sitting there in our backyard, we could see the similarities of our birch tree with the coconut tree. And Travis said, you saw how we climbed it. I will go first. It was my idea. And Travis reached out, wrapped his arms and his legs around that birch tree just like the guy at the island had done to the coconut tree. That guy squeezed and squeezed and squeezed his way up that trunk to the top where he picked the coconuts and threw them down to all of his friends down below. Our goal was not coconuts. Our goal was fun. Travis was wrapped and ready, and he squeezed and pulled and squeezed and squeezed and squeezed and... Travis, if anyone else were here, it would be embarrassing. Turn that tree loose. You're not going anywhere. He had moved all but 5 inches or less up. I said, step aside. Little sister, big sister, power, because I'm right in the middle. I wrapped my arms and my legs around that tree. See, I knew that I could do it with more finesse than my older brother. I paid attention to details that he never saw. Wrapping my arms, my legs tightly around that tree and squeezing my eyes very tightly shut, I squeezed and pulled and squeezed and pulled and squeezed and pulled and squeezed. Hey, how'd you guys get way up here? I had not even gone 2 inches higher than where I'd started. I turned that tree loose. That's when Chris said, "Step aside, little brother Peller." He leaned in, wrapped his arms around that tree, and squeezed a big old bear hug on that trunk. I said, "Chris, turn it loose. You're gonna bust that thing in half. It's gonna hit the house." Chris said, "No, no. Look at our arms." And it was true. All of our sweatshirts were covered in white birch bark stain. Now Mommy's gonna know. Now we're gonna get in trouble. We're not supposed to be climbing that tree, Travis. Well, that was the truth. The real reason we had never climbed that tree was not that we didn't know how, it was because we were not supposed to climb the tree. Great. Now what do? We did the only thing that good, dutiful children, if you were here earlier, you know that I have never broken hardly any rules unless the kids walk in our house and my parents aren't there and there's nothing I can do. My body takes over. This was one of those times. Stay with me, parents. Do not fear. By the end of this story, you'll be happy I told this story. For a while here, you're going to think I'm nuts. But here we go. Stay with me. I have 6 kids. They can hear this story. And you should too. Where were we? Oh yes, we were wondering what to do. And we started trying to get into that tree like our lives depended on it, because they did. We were going to get killed anyway, right? So why not die trying? Why not get really in trouble? Kids, this is the stupid part. Disclaimer, disclaimer. Stupid part of the story. No parents were part of the story, and that was the problem at this moment. Don't tell my mom I said that. She'd be really offended right here. She was a great mom. She was buying us food. Now calm down. Travis took a running start because there was no jumping up into that tree. Travis backed up. He went running for that tree, and how many of you are over the age of 40? Good. Some of you will understand who this next person is. He went soaring through the air looking like Michael Jordan, or better, if it's possible. Yeah, see, some people don't even know anymore. Woo! He went flying through the air. He grabbed onto one of those branches, wrapped his legs around it, and was sitting on the bottom branch. How'd you do that? No, why? It's easy, you guys. Just get a running start and jump. Chris and I backed up, we got a running start, and just about met that trunk again. It's not looking real pretty, Travis. I think we're earthbound. Do I have to do everything for you too? I think you're there. Travis jumped out of the tree. He grabbed Chris. He grabbed me. Woo! Oh, here we were sitting in the tree. Travis got a running Michael Jordan leap again, up into the tree. There we were. Monkeys up in the tree, up those branches, down those branches, all around those branches, up and down and around until we got thoroughly and absolutely, utterly bored. Can you believe it? Right up there in that tree where we were gonna die if our mom found out about it, we were bored. There's nothing to do. We could climb the trees, we've done that. And that's when Travis's wheels started turning. And he said, "Hey, you guys, have you ever noticed how close this tree is to the roof?" And Chris, little brother, said, "Of course, that is why we are not allowed to climb that tree, Travis." And I said, I like life. No. Travis stood up, grabbing a branch above him, putting his feet on the one he had been sitting on, and said, "I don't know about you guys, but I'm out for adventure, and I'm going." No, and I said, "And I'm staying." He went, walking on one branch, holding the one above his head, until As you can imagine, what happens when branches start to get thinner out at the outer edges. I saw this from my vantage point and I thought, Travis will be wise. Travis will stop. Travis will realize the branch can no longer hold his weight. Travis, I didn't know him very well at this point, give me a break. Travis will get smart and come back. This was Travis. His kids love this story. He started running. When he realized that the branch was giving weight, he figured if he kept his weight off of it, it wouldn't bend so much. But it still kept bending. And Running Man got a new idea and turned into Superman as he took a running leap off of those branches. And he was a thing of beauty. Flying toward the house. I thought he was gonna make it. And just as Superman lost his forward momentum and gravity, he realized was not his friend. Superman became vertical descent man and plummeted downward. Stay with me, children. I told you he has children today. As we suddenly watched our brother, everything stopped. The birds stopped chirping. My breath, my heart stopped beating. The world seemed to screech on its axis. All except for Travis in slow motion. And Vertical Descent Man then became Cartoon Man as we watched our brother's body impact with the ground, absolutely flatten out like a tune, bend up on the sides in all directions, and come back into some form, laying there on the ground with the dust swirling. Nannette, is he dead? Chris, I don't know. Travis is down on the ground. Chris is moving in the tree. Keep track of them. Nannette, how do we know if he's dead? Chris, I don't know. We have to find a way to get down to him or call to him or... It's not looking good. Maybe, if we can hit him with some catkins out of the tree. And we can make him move. It'll wake him up. It'll revive him. We're awful. Travis taught me how to throw. Oh yeah, he taught me how to throw better. Got him! Right on the side of the face. Did you see that? He'd be so proud of me if he could just see it. Nannette, he's not moving. Chris, it does not do any good to cry right now. We have got to find our way out of this tree, and we can't cry or we'll be here. Nannette, I'm not crying because he's dead. I'm crying because I'm stuck in this tree for the rest of my life. I can't get down by myself. And when Mommy gets home, she's going to kill us. Oh, you're right. We gotta find a way to get out of this tree, but we have to do something more productive until our minds start to be creative and think of something, Chris. We've got to do a eulogy. Who? No, that's not a who, it's a what. It's a what we say. We say nice words about him. We tell him all the stuff we should have told him when he was alive. For example, if he were alive, I would not care if he knocked my Barbie's heads off. I wouldn't yell at him. Oh, yeah. Me too. If he were still alive, I would let him punch me in this arm and then punch me in that arm. Because he likes to punch me in the arm. Yeah, because you're Chris Tough Guy. Oh, Chris, remember on that log down there? Remember how he taught us to dissect pincher bugs? And then Mom went to do her sewing and she couldn't find all of her pins and we said, they're out in the yard. And then she screamed. Yeah, because she hates bugs. Nannette, remember over there how all the stuffing was falling out of his stuffed dog and he was the surgeon and you were the surgeon's assistant and I was the assistant to the assistant? Yeah, like that, Chris. Those are good times. Nannette. What? Do dead bodies move after they've been dead? I don't know why. Because I think just move. Oh, he's not moving now. Nannette, do you hear that? I do. What is that? I don't know, but it's coming from it. And our former brother's shape shell that was down there on the ground, there was a sound deep rolling inside of it. Rolling and rolling, and it was going to come out somehow. And Chris said, Nannette, take cover. He's gonna blow! And just as we took cover, that sound that was rolling around in our brother's belly spilled out of his mouth all over the ground. It was a sound. It was not a thing. It was laughter! He's not dead. He's laughing! And on that day, little brothers and little sisters, I learned something. Big brothers' bodies are very good cushions for getting out of trees. We both leapt out of that tree, landing on Travis. I think that's the day professional wrestling was really invented. Someone else stole our idea. We rolled around on that ground, wrestling back and forth. Oh, I could just get you on. Travis was laughing. He said, "Ah, you two were just about to promise me your desserts forever." Yeah, well, it's lucky for you that you laughed. We rolled around and laid there, and all of a sudden, Chris said, "Oh, it's amazing! The tattletale marks are all gone! And now Mommy will never know!" That's right, Chris! That's great! And do you think we ever told my mom? No. I am an honest child. I never told her and she never asked. Do not... No, wipe that from your brains, children. Let me take you fast forward in time. I am now a mother. At the time of 5 children. Currently it is 6. But at the time it was 5 children. My youngest was 5-year-old. My oldest was 13. I would never have gone to the store that day if I had realized the dangers that lurked at my own house. As I rounded the corner and drove down my street, 4th house on the left, I saw motion on the garage roof. What in the world? Whoa! When I catch him, I'm gonna kill him. There was my oldest child, acting like a monkey, dancing around on the rooftop. Suddenly, like a 6th sense, or a mom sense, you know Mom is coming, he stopped, looked up the road, looked back at the house, and Superman dove through the bedroom window. I had enough presence of mind to call my mother because I did not want to go to jail for really murdering a child. He was the babysitter. And as I called my mom, I said, Mom, can you believe what these children are doing when I'm going to the store? And she said to me, Nannette, you have a gift here. Bring them all into the kitchen, sit them down around the table. I think she thought they would be safe with something in between them and me. And tell them the story about Travis falling out of the birch tree and you guys thinking he was almost dead. Travis? Did Chris? Who? How did you know? What? Come clean, Mother. And she said, Nannette, if I had said anything, would it have made as big an impression as what you had already been through? And I said, no. Did you ever climb the birch tree again? No, I never knew the birch tree existed after that day. Said, you need to tell your kids that story. And tell them what almost happened. I think that'll do it. Mom, but you never explained to me how you knew. I'm going to tell you kids, this is the sum up and take home of the night. Put a handle on it. You think that your parents and your grandparents look like such old people? I'm standing before you tonight to tell you that your parents, your grandparents, they used to be children just like you. They know all your tricks. They know everything you could possibly get up to. And I would like to put a plug in. This is good material for family dinners, or family time, or whatever. Gather together, children. Sit with your parents and your grandparents. Do not lose this opportunity. Sit with a notepad or a recorder. Ask them some specific questions based on what you think are such big secrets in your life. Grandma, did you ever climb trees? And I'll go further. Grandma, did you ever have an experience falling out of a tree? What would you suggest about... I think that this is the wave of the future. Your parents, your grandparents, your children first.